My name is Jason Chu, spelled Jasonchu. I'm a science fellow at Gemini Observatory, part of NSF's NORLab. Pōniuāʻena is a very important discovery because it is the most farthest quasar that we've been able to find. And so these objects are very, very big, massive black holes that are sucking in and accreting matter at such a high rate that they're so bright we can see it all the way across the universe. And so what's really cool about it is that it has a lot of implications on how these black holes form even earlier, because we're looking at so far back that it's very, very close to the beginning of the universe, or the Big Bang. And so by discovering something so massive, it puts a limit on how massive that object is when it was first formed, which was even further away. Yeah, so Pōniuāʻena is a very important major discovery because it just shows how these massive objects can form so early, and we still have no idea how that even happens. And so this has a lot of important implications on how galaxies and the black holes that reside within them evolve from early in the universe to how they look today in the galaxies we see today. Yeah, so this object is a very, very massive black hole, about 1 billion suns, all crammed into a very small location. And this is residing in the center of a galaxy that's about 13 billion light years away. And so this object is accreting or sucking in matter so quickly that it is radiating a lot of energy, and it is so bright that we can see it all the way across the universe. Yeah, so I think that we should have both cultural as well as scientific achievements go hand in hand together, because we can't consider both of them in a vacuum on its own. And so by using these Hawaiian names, we honor both the culture as well as the scientific achievements that we've been able to do. And especially Hawaiian language is important because a major part of the discovery was actually done on Maunakea. And so it was important that we honor its contribution to science overall for humanity as overall completely. Maunakea is an exceptional observing site for astronomy in the entire world. And this is because that the characteristics of observing from the summit are completely unparalleled by any other observatory in the entire world. And so we have the best telescopes up there, which allows us to do literally cutting-edge research that puts us an entire leg up in front of other observatories. And so this is the reason why Maunakea is leading a lot of the major scientific discoveries in astronomy, especially since given what we just observed now. Yeah, so I think it's important to emphasize here that a lot of these discoveries actually rely on multiple different telescopes, and each of these telescopes has a slightly different capability that makes it strongly suited to observe in a certain way than others. And so it's very important that we have a lot of these different telescopes collaborating together, especially within our parent organization, NSF's NORLab, where we have telescopes in South America as well as here in Hawaii, which can see this object both at the same time. And so by collaborating together, they can get complementary data that can make the result even more interesting. Okay. Yeah, so Maunakea is a great place to observe because there's a lot of different factors that all come together to make it an exceptional observing site. So for one, we're in the middle of the Pacific, so there's really not very much light pollution that will affect observations. And because we're in the middle of the ocean, that means the airflow over the mountain is also very smooth, and so allows us to see stars and galaxies and planets a lot sharper than from other sites, other observatories around the world. Given also the fact that Mauna Kea is so much higher, it's above a lot of the water vapor, also allows us to do some very interesting observations that can only otherwise be done from space.
Sure. My name is Kaʻiu Kimura, K-A-O-K-I-N-A-I-U, last name K-I-M-U-R-A, and I'm the Executive Director of the ʻImiloa Astronomy Center. A Hua He Inoa is a newer initiative housed under the ʻImiloa Astronomy Center in partnership with Kahakaʻula o Keʻelikoʻolani College of Hawaiian Language, the Institute for Astronomy at the University of Hawaii in Manoa, and the Maunakea Observatories. I think the really important thing about A Hua He Inoa is the impact that it's having on both the scientists and our Hawaiian speaking students and teachers. I think this program affords the opportunity for scientists and classrooms to have direct exchange as it relates to new discoveries being made on top Maunakea, while also relating and investigating those discoveries in a way that connects to traditional Hawaiian knowledge and Hawaiian language. And it allows for a space to have these two worldviews kind of come together and better understand one another and put into context how modern discoveries are perhaps not so modern at all. And discovering that within our Hawaiian theories and concepts of creation, some of these quote-unquote modern discoveries are actually called forth in very old records of Hawaiian knowledge and Hawaiian information. So I think both provide each other a platform to explore and learn as a modern yet very old discovery. So I think A Hua He Inoa is a really important program to Kumu, to our students, and to scientists, because it provides a space where everyone can come together and learn from one another, where scientists are able to share their discoveries with students and teachers directly, and where students and teachers who are Hawaiian speaking are able to engage in the scientific process, but in a way that relates and connects back to our language and to very old traditional bodies of knowledge from our Hawaiian perspective. So I think both learn from one another and are able to develop connections between a scientific way of understanding and our very Hawaiian way of understanding. So one of the exciting things about A Hua He Inoa is having access to the science and the discovery being made through the observatories, and having a direct link to our students and our teachers to make the scientific inquiry happening right here in our very own home accessible and relatable in ways that give our students and our next generation opportunities to engage. The object is called Pōniuāʻena, and it is several large ideas put together in one word. So Po refers to a deep, fathomless darkness, source of energy, source of creation that initiated the birth of our entire universe and everything in it. So Po is referencing that powerful source of energy and creation. Niua is sort of this spinning motion that the object is in, causing it to be radiant and brilliant. So if you look at the image, I think the name really captures what the object or the discovery is emanating. And so it's this very old, powerful source of creation that is spinning and is emitting very radiant, bright glow and light that's indicative of the energy that is in the discovery. So ʻImiloa is all about celebrating and honoring place, and in particular Maunakea and all that Maunakea stands for. Maunakea is rooted in a deep, long-standing history, and for our Native Hawaiian community, our history that is an ancestral history back to the beginning of time. And so at ʻImiloa, we aspire to celebrate and share that history and that significance to our culture and to our people as a foundation, and building off of that, also exploring new ways and new perspectives that have been introduced to Hawaii, and in particular through scientific inquiry and astronomy, in ways that are relevant to Hawaii and all that Hawaii stands for. So ʻImiloa itself means, right, this long-standing history and legacy and deep value of our Hawaiian community for this perpetual search for new knowledge. And this search is only as important as it is relatable to the community. So ʻImiloa is all about bringing relations and relatability within our community to old and contemporary ways of thinking and being.